Chapter 1. The Arrival. The heavy clank of iron gates echoed through the desolate landscape, a chilling announcement of irrevocable change. Jackson stood still, his heart racing, as the stark reality of Oak Ridge Correctional Facility enveloped him. The grim exterior, with its towering walls and barbed wire, felt like a fortress that held not just the bodies of the inmates, but their hopes and dreams as well. His first diary entry began with trembling hands, scratching out the fear and confusion that clouded his mind. Today I am not just Jackson the artist. I am a prisoner. The weight of my choices hangs heavy in the air, suffocating yet oddly liberating. What lies ahead is unknown, yet I can feel the unyielding pulse of life around me. I must adapt, find my place in this twisted new world. As he walked deeper into the facility, the cacophony of guards barking orders and distant shouts underscored the struggle that awaited him behind these unforgiving walls. Chapter 2. First Days. The clang of metal echoed ominously as Jackson stepped into the harsh fluorescent light of the main hall. His heart raced, each beat a reminder that life as he knew it was over. He shuffled through the throng of inmates, wary of the eyes that scrutinized his every move. The murmurs and laughter felt foreign, a stark contrast to the silence he'd anticipated. In the enclosed space, Maria's voice emerged, her diary entry filled with longing. "Every night, I close my eyes and picture my children. I'm scared they'll forget me," she wrote, her struggle weaving into Jackson's surroundings. The sounds of guards barking orders mixed with the distant clamor of daily routines, the clanging of dishes, the shuffle of feet on cold concrete. In those chaotic moments, Jackson glimpsed the wide spectrum of humanity that thrived within these walls, each inmate burdened with their own story, yet united by the same fate. Chapter 3. Fractured Lives. As Jackson sits in his cramped cell, the stale air heavy with regret, he reflects on the life he once knew, a life filled with color and possibility. His diary entry reveals a poignant juxtaposition. "I traded my paintbrush for despair, and the vibrant world outside feels like a distant memory." The sounds of metal clanking and distant shouts echo through the hallways, mirroring the chaos within him. Meanwhile, Maria's voice resonates from her diary, capturing a mother's anguish. "Each day behind these walls feels like an eternity. I worry about my children. Will they forget me?" Their narratives intertwine, exposing shared vulnerabilities and shattered dreams. Fractured lives echoing one another, they both seek connection amid solitude. As Jackson leans against the cold concrete, he hears laughter from the yard, a bittersweet reminder that, despite their circumstances, life continues to pulse just beyond the prison gates. Chapter 4. Threads of Connection. Amidst the chaotic rhythm of prison life, Jackson begins to forge unexpected friendships that provide warmth against the cold, harsh reality of Oak Ridge. He meets Ethan, a fellow inmate with a passion for music, whose infectious laughter breaks through the heavy silence. Their conversations, filled with dreams and shared fears, become a sanctuary, a thread of connection woven through their shared struggles. Meanwhile, Maria's diary entries introduce her longing for reconciliation, painting vivid images of family dinners and bedtime stories. She reflects on the essence of motherhood, noting how each day apart etches deeper lines of worry on her heart. The ambient sounds of yard chatter intertwine with her memories, creating a tapestry of past warmth in stark contrast to her current loneliness. As Jackson and Maria navigate their separate paths, their stories begin to intertwine symbolically, highlighting the bonds of humanity that can flourish even in the darkest places. Chapter 5. Artistic Awakening. As the sun filtered through the barred windows, Jackson wandered into the dimly lit art room, apprehension knotting his stomach. The air was infused with the scent of paint and the soft scratch of pencils against paper. Initially skeptical of the program, he hesitated at the entrance, the sounds of laughter and creativity drawing him in like a moth to a flame. Slowly, he picked up a brush, its bristles soft and inviting against his fingertips. With each stroke on the canvas, colors flowed freely, unveiling emotions he had long buried. Surrounding him, fellow inmates shared their stories, their voices a chorus of resilience amid despair. Jackson felt a spark of hope ignite within him, as the art transformed his pain into something beautiful. In this refuge of creativity, he began to rediscover himself, each piece a testament to his journey, an artistic awakening amidst the confines of Oak Ridge. Chapter 6. Shared Stories. In the dim light of the common area, Jackson spotted Frank, the elderly inmate with a weathered face carved by time and trials. Curiosity piqued. He approached the old man, who was sketching a scene from the prison yard, the sun casting long shadows over concrete bricks. Their conversation flowed easily, punctuated by laughter as Frank shared tales of his youth, stories filled with mischief, lost love, and hard-earned wisdom. "Art is a bridge, kid," Frank said, his voice a raspy whisper. "It connects who we were with who we can still become." Intrigued, Jackson found himself opening up, recounting his own passion for painting and the life that now felt like a distant memory. Flashes of camaraderie blossomed in their dialogue, and Jackson realized he was not alone. Amidst the cold reality of incarceration, genuine connections were forming, illuminating the darkness with shared humanity. Chapter 7. Maternal Longing. Maria sat on her bunk, pen in hand, struggling to find the right words for her children. The familiar rustle of the prison yard filled the air, but her mind was elsewhere, lost in memories of their laughter and warmth. "Dear Emma and Lucas," she began, each letter infused with love and longing. Her diary entries captured the essence of motherhood, expressing not just her regrets, but also her hopes for a future together. "I miss your smiles, the way you would come running to me after school," she wrote, tears brimming in her eyes. She yearned to hold them again, to guide them through their own struggles. Maria's emotional turmoil reflected a mother's heart bound by steel walls, yet still yearning for the freedom to nurture. With each word, she sought redemption, not just for herself, but to become the mother they deserved. The ambient sound of distant echoes offered a bittersweet reminder of the life she hoped to reclaim. Chapter 8. Moments of Light. As Jackson immersed himself in the colors and textures of his art, he discovered an unexpected sanctuary within the prison walls. Each brushstroke became a release, allowing his emotions to flow freely onto the canvas. Sounds of vibrant hues being mixed, the gentle scrape of bristles against fabric, and the occasional laughter shared with fellow inmates created a symphony of creativity and camaraderie. Jackson painted not just for himself, but as a testament to the fragility of hope. Meanwhile, Maria's diary entries echoed the tumult of her heart, grappling with her choices and the distance from her children. Each letter she penned became a thread of connection, weaving her sorrow into expressions of love. The contrasting sounds of her longing and Jackson's artistic awakening formed a delicate balance, his art illustrating the beauty of resilience, while her words painted the pain of separation. In these moments of light, they found strength amid darkness, embracing the flicker of hope that illuminated their paths. Chapter 9. New Arrivals. The sound of heavy boots echoed through the corridor as the gate creaked open once more, announcing the arrival of new inmates, an unsettling harbinger of change. Jackson leaned against the worn wall of the common area, his heart racing as whispers spread among the current residents. There was an unmistakable tension in the air, a precursor to an unpredictable storm. Among the newcomers, a wiry young man with an air of bravado caught his attention, igniting murmurs about potential alliances and rivalries. In the common room, Maria's diary entries reflected the unease as well. She penned her fears about the changing dynamics, concerned for her safety and that of her fellow inmates. As small factions began to form, the echoes of past violence resurfaced, reminding Jackson and Maria that trust was a fragile commodity. Determined to find connection amid the chaos, they clung to the hope that their burgeoning bonds could withstand the shifting tides of Oak Ridge. Chapter 10. Clash of Factions. Tension crackled like static in the air as new inmates shuffled into Oak Ridge, their presence unsettling the established order. Whispers of newfound alliances and power struggles reverberated through the prison halls, igniting a sense of unease among the long-timers. Jackson felt the shift keenly. The relationships he had painstakingly built with his fellow inmates now teetered on fragile ground. Amid the escalating conflicts, Jackson turned to his art as a refuge and a rebellion. With each brushstroke, he infused his anger and fear onto canvases, expressing the turmoil around him. The sounds of metal scraping against the easel mirrored his internal battle, the rhythmic pulse of creativity amidst chaos. As factions formed, old loyalties splintered and friendships were tested. Jackson's artwork became a voice of resistance, a colorful rebellion against the harshness of their reality. It was here, in the swirling turmoil, that he realized the power of art could bridge divides, uniting even the most fractured lives. Chapter 11, Breaking Point. The flickering fluorescent lights cast long shadows in the prison yard, a haunting backdrop to the tension that simmered beneath the surface. That fateful night, muffled whispers filled the air as factions among inmates began to clash, fueled by jealousy and desperation. Jackson stood frozen, his heart racing, his own artwork momentarily forgotten. He had spent weeks pouring his soul onto the canvas, but the chaos around him felt like a crushing weight. Meanwhile, Maria's diary lay open on her cot, ink smudged from restless nights spent agonizing over her children's future. Thoughts spiraled as she faced a heart-wrenching choice: accept a plea deal that would secure her children's stability, but strip her of her integrity. In the dark corners of her mind, she grappled with the reality of sacrificing her values for the safety of her loved ones. That night, the prison walls echoed with the cries of fractured lives, bringing both hope and despair to a devastating climax. Chapter 12, Art and Impact. The dim lights of the prison's communal room illuminated the walls adorned with Jackson's artwork, each piece a testament to his tumultuous journey. As he stood at the forefront of the exhibit, the whispers of fellow inmates filled the air, mingling with the echoes of their shared struggles. The vivid strokes of color spoke of resilience, pain, and a yearning for freedom, capturing the attention of the attending guards and a small group of visitors from the outside. Jackson watched as people engaged with his pieces, their expressions shifting from curiosity to empathy. Each brushstroke conveyed a message that transcended the steel bars enclosing them, stories of hope amid despair. Yet beneath the surface, a tempest brewed within him. Would this moment of recognition alter his fate? Would his art truly resonate beyond these prison walls? As applause erupted, Jackson felt a flicker of pride and vulnerability, knowing that art, his voice, was now a powerful conduit for change. Chapter 13, Reflections of Change. As the last echoes of a tumultuous night faded, Jackson sat in the quiet of his cell, grappling with the weight of his choices. The prison felt both familiar and foreign, a paradox of confinement and self-discovery. He picked up his brush, the fibers brushing softly against the canvas, and closed his eyes. Images of his past flickered, moments of joy interspersed with regret. Each stroke released pent-up emotions, reflecting transformation from a life of chaos to one filled with purpose and hope. Outside, the morning light filtered through the bars, casting intricate shadows that danced across the cold concrete floor. The distant sounds of inmates conversing created a new rhythm of resilience. Jackson realized that while freedom was within reach, his journey was far from over. This moment was pivotal, marking a chapter of renewal, not just for himself, but for everyone in Oak Ridge. The path forward shimmered with the promise of redemption.